Why does this certain pattern keep repeating? I thought I learned a lesson already, but it keeps coming back, keeps coming back, keeps coming back. You recognize this? I'll have some insights for you. First of all, it's not the same thing that comes back. Every single time something that you recognize comes back in your field, an experience, an event, whatever, person, it's always something different. It's always something new, but it feels familiar. And it's a pattern. Just like in the manifesting world, when you can manifest a specific person, a SP, I got this from another guy, Aaron Doughty, who says it's actually a specific pattern. It's a pattern that you keep repeating. But the pattern looks like the old one, but it's never a new one. Like the onion, you always go deeper and deeper and deeper, but it's the same onion, just different layers. So what do you do when the same thing keeps coming back? All of a sudden you get bills all the time. You always attract people with the same challenges that you have with. You seem to go from job to job to job and never have what you really want. Why does that keep happening? Well, what you're doing right now, and I have another metaphor for you, is it's raining very hard outside. You are at the attic in your house, and it's dripping through the roof. What you're doing everywhere where it's dripping, you're putting buckets down. Oh, this pattern is here again. Oh no, here's this lesson again, not a bucket. And there, oh, it's dripping there, another bucket, another bucket. And your floor is filled with buckets, and they're just overflowing, and it's actually wet everywhere. But you're like, why does this keep happening? But you're not looking up and like, oh, the roof is actually leaking. What if I just fix the roof? And then the dripping stops here and the pattern disappears. Now, I'm not telling you that you need to fix yourself. The roof has holes in it, but you don't have a hole in you. You don't need to fix yourself. You don't need to look up. You need to lick. Well, lick. No licking. You need to look inside. As always, the answer is inside. You don't need to look in your environment like, why are you treating me like this? Why is this bill appearing? Why is this job not manifesting? Why is my career not taking off? Everything outside. But the bucket is inside. Maybe your bucket inside is empty and it needs to be filled up with attention and love. Because every time this lesson keeps appearing, it's a lesson. It's nothing, something that's happening to you. Oh my God, I feel such a victim. No, it's a lesson to train you to go to the next level so that you can actually be the person that can manifest everything and that can hold it, that has that energy and frequency of the reality that you want. So you go inside and you actually ask, what part of me is showing this lesson and what do you need from me? You can even do EFT tapping on this, emotional freedom technique. Where, for example, normally you would go through a trigger and go to certain points on your body, acupuncture points and meridians, that move the energy and get it out of your system. But you can also do this to acquire something that you want to have more information from inside. For example, even though this, even though I keep attracting, you start on the karate chop point, this point here, even though I keep attracting women who seem to be avoidant, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then you repeat that 3 times in total. And then you go to the point. I keep attracting these women. They seem to be running away from me, anxious, avoidant. They seem to be avoidant, attaching. Why does it keep happening to me? Why does this keep happening to me? What do I need to learn? What part of me must be seen? What do you need from me? And then you just take a breath. And then you just wait. You go into silent space and you wait for the answers to come up. Whatever comes, can be a feeling, can be a word, it can be a sentence, you can have a whole conversation with something that's happening inside you. But there is, and that's just one example of a tool that you can use, but there is something inside you that is emerging. And it feels safe. And it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And the pattern or the lesson disappears when you fully taking care of the needs of that piece inside you. But you need to willing to go there inside. And it can be uncomfortable. It's definitely unknown. And that can be uncomfortable and scary. And, not but, and, It is a part of you. So why not just love it completely? Why not love every single part that exists in your body? Why would you be scared of something that you are? And what you have is part of your being, of your aring. So when you dive into that and you accept whatever is there, there's no fear, there's no anxiety, there's no unknown, and the pattern just fades away. But it's to be found inside. You can also journal on this. I like to do more of a somatic approach, but sometimes I have to admit that I don't journal that often, but when sometimes I feel the need. For example, in this case, you can journal on a new event that occurred in your life. Can be a relationship, money, objects. I don't know what it is. You journal on that, and then you ask. And you do this in a free flow. You just keep writing. It's important that you keep writing. Even when you don't know what to write anymore, you keep writing. I don't know what to write anymore. This seems so weird. I just can't seem to stop writing and I'm making up stuff. Because your subconscious is taking over. And when you stop and you start thinking, you go back into your mind. But you want your body to take over because that's where the answer is. That's where those pieces are hidden. So you just keep writing, and at a certain moment you want to ask, why does this pattern keep repeating? What do you need from me to resolve this pattern? Something like that, or whatever you intuitively feel. And then what happens to me is that my handwriting shifts. I write faster, more pressure, more like not straight anymore, diagonal. So I know, oh, this is where my subconscious kicks in. And I just let it go. And then afterwards I go like, oh, wow. When I'm finished, I need to kick back into the present me. And then I reread what I read. Always fascinating answers come through. Well, this feels like a cue for myself to do some journaling as well tonight. But really what I want to put through to you, that first of all, you're not a victim. This is not happening to you. You are gaining something from this pattern. Otherwise, you wouldn't have this pattern anymore. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the lessons. Something that you learned, you don't need to have the lesson again. You've learned how to walk. You're not going to go to a walking class anymore because you know how to walk already. But before you knew how to walk, you were actually taking walking classes by practicing walking with your family and stuff. So there is something that you're gaining from this lesson right now, but you need to be, and as something growing can be uncomfortable. So admitting to yourself that you're actually gaining something from this uncomfortable situation that you keep attracting can be hard. It can be painful, like, oh my God, I hate this situation, but I'm actually gaining something from it. What am I gaining from it? And be radically honest. It can be painful to admit, but you don't need to tell it to anyone. You can just keep it to yourself. And because you love yourself, everything is safe within you. And if you don't feel safe within you, then you can work on that. Do the mirror exercise. Look yourself in the eyes and tell yourself, everything that I am is safe with me. Everything that you do is safe with me. Everything that I do is safe with me. I'm always safe. But once you see this, once this becomes a delight, this is the first, maybe not the first step, but it's an important step. Awareness is an important step to make it dissolve. Bringing it into the light will make it dissolve. And then it just tumbles. It actually tumbles by itself. Because now it's hidden in the dark and it's like, ooh, I'm comfortable here. Nobody sees me. I can just do my own thing. Creating havoc. When you shine your light on it, it's like, oh my God, they're seeing me. And then they throw a tantrum. But then you calm your system down. Because as I said, it's can be uncomfortable. And your system might go, oh, no. This is unsafe. We're going to go into fight or flight. And once you realize that, you're going to feel like you might this is preventative. You might feel anxiety. You might feel some uncomfortable emotions. And then you just calm your system down. You go into a conscious breathing pattern. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Long and calm breathing. Very slow your system down again. Okay, it's actually safe to feel these emotions. It's actually safe to see these parts of me. Of course it's safe because it's part of you. But your system doesn't know that yet because it's used to something else. This part inside me is unsafe. You are unsafe. You are unsafe. Or you are safe. It's like choosing in gym when you're 10 years old in school. I'm going to choose you. I'm not going to choose you because I don't like you. I'm going to choose you. I'm only going to choose you if you give me a cookie like later today. Yes, that's a recipe for disaster, right? So what we're doing now is undoing all this conditioning and all this crazy patterns that we've thought of that we were taught when we were little. Because now you can reparent yourself. I'm going to choose you. 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 I'm going to choose everything about me. Because I choose myself. Even the things that I wish I would be different, I'm going to accept now. I'm going to stop wishing something different and I'm going to accept what is. So that lesson that I'm seeing right now, that I feel so challenging about, I'm going to accept it as it is right now. I'm going to look inside myself. What is causing this? What I need to give to myself to resolve this? And at the same time, you're manifesting exactly what you want. You're visualizing the different situation where you are living in right now. So you're accepting what was in front of you and living from a state of the desired reality that you actually want. But the realization for myself that there's actually something that I'm gaining from this pattern, specific pattern, this lesson, this deeper layer of me, was a real eye-opener. And sometimes it's still so uncomfortable, like, oh my God. Not how, but maybe how. How did I not see this? How crazy is it to realize that I'm actually gaining this from this situation? Because my conscious mind I can't comprehend, but my subconscious is not in sync with my conscious mind. The subconscious controls 95% of your thoughts. So 95% of your thoughts are outside of your awareness field. And you're having 60 to 70,000 thoughts every single day. So can you imagine if you're thinking something and your subconscious is thinking something totally different about the specific pattern, this lesson, that is going to be a friction. So whatever's coming up, your mind is going to be like, where is this coming from? Okay, I can see the benefit, but how did I create this? Well, it's not in here, it's in your body. That's why you need to go into your body to resolve this. All parts of you are hidden, stored inside your body. And some parts are hidden because they don't feel safe yet. Because when they were younger, those parts were not acknowledged. Maybe they were scolded at. Whatever happened, now is the time to give them reassurance, to make them feel seen, heard, loved, and safe. Because that's what you really want, right? Feel safe, to feel free, to feel fulfilled. All you're after is a feeling. So you can give that to yourself right now. And it's not to be found in your outside environment. You don't need to go out on the roof to fix yourself, because there's nothing to fix. That hole that you think you need to fill in, it's just an illusion. You can pull off the bandage and look underneath. Oh my gosh, there's no hole there. I thought there was a hole there because this patch is on there for so long, but now I see that I'm whole. And every single part of me is whole. So I can just love and be completely me. That's what the Conscious Manual is all about, where I help you to love yourself so you can love your life and create the reality that you actually want. And as always, remember that you are epic. Ciao, ciao.